Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back. Today is day 3 of our winter theme week. So, I have a question for you. How many of you recently have had a chance to go sledding? There's been some snow on the ground, and I've actually seen a lot of kids outside recently going sledding. Maybe you've had a chance to do that too. Sledding is actually a perfect opportunity for us to make some connections to science and STEM. So today and tomorrow we're going to do some activities that involve sledding and making connections to science and STEM activities. So we're going to start today by doing some science that go along with sledding. So first, let's take a look at these pictures of kids that are sledding. And you'll see these kids on two different types of hills. Take a look at Hill 1. So Hill 1 is the larger hill, and you'll see that the snow on that hill is smoother. And then if you look at Hill 2, it's a little shorter, and the snow there is rougher. So if you wanted to go sledding on the hill that you would go fastest on, which hill do you think you would want to choose? Would you want to go sledding on Hill 1, that's larger with smoother snow? Or would you want to go sledding on Hill 2, that is a little bit shorter and has rougher snow? You may already know the answer, or you may have an idea of the answer. But do you know why? If you said Hill 1, you were correct. If you want to go faster, you want a hill that is steeper or taller and smoother. The shorter the hill and the rougher the snow, the slower you're going to go. There's some science that explains why that's true. We're going to start by watching a short video from YouTube that will explain a little bit about why rougher snow will be slower to sled on than smoother snow. And then we're going to do a fun website that will teach us why a hill might go faster or slower depending on how steep or short it is. So let's first start by watching the video about sledding and rough and smooth snow.
Squeaks and I had an interesting adventure this morning. Last night it was snowing when we went to sleep, and when we got up today, there was a bunch of snow on the ground. And there's this great hill in the park behind the fort, and Squeaks wanted to go sledding. So we went out there, pulled our sled to the top of the hill, and pushed off. We started to move a little bit, but then before we could get very far, we stopped. Now, I don't know about you, but to me that seems like kind of a silly sled ride. We barely moved before we got stuck in the snow. What do you think, Squeaks? Yeah, it was kind of disappointing. But even though our sled ride this morning didn't work so well, I bet we can find a way to have an awesome sled ride when we go back to the park. Because with science, we can figure out why we went so slow and how to get ourselves zooming down the hill instead. When we're sledding, we want to move forward as fast as we can. And there are a couple of easy ways to help ourselves do just that. One thing we can do is push off really hard at the top of the hill to give ourselves more speed right from the start. We can also have more weight on the sled, which will keep us going for longer before we stop. Like how it's much harder to stop a heavy bowling ball that's rolling towards you than it is to stop a lighter soccer ball. That's true, Squeaks. We were already doing both of those things this morning. We pushed off really hard at the top of the hill, and with Squeaks and I both on the sled, there was plenty of weight to keep us going. But that wasn't enough. We still didn't move very fast, and we stopped pretty soon after we started moving. And that's because there was something that was slowing us down. It was pushing back on us and stopping us from moving forward. Something that pushes or pulls is called a force. And the force that was stopping us from zooming down the hill is called friction. Friction is what makes it hard to slide things across each other. There's lots of friction if those things are rough and less if they're smooth. Have you ever noticed that when you're wearing socks, it's much harder to slide your feet across carpet than it is to slide them across a wood floor? That's because of friction. Carpet is pretty rough, so there's more friction between your socks and the carpet than between your socks and the smooth wood. The force of friction pushes hard against your socks as you try to slide them across the carpet. And the same thing happened with our sled, Squeaks. Our sled is made of wood, so it's pretty smooth. But the fresh snow from last night is still soft and powdery, and that was making it hard for our sled to slide across it. Instead, the snow kind of bunched up underneath us, and there was lots of friction slowing us down after we pushed off. And that's why we didn't go very fast or far before we stopped. So, Squeaks, if we want to go really fast next time, what do you think we should do? Well, that would be one way to do it. We could wait a few days until the snow on the ground is much more packed down, so it'll be hard and smooth. But we could just pack it down ourselves right now. We could go back to the hill and stomp on the snow for a while, then smooth it out to make a nice track of hard, packed down snow for our sled. It'll be a little more work before we can start sledding, but I think it'll be worth it. How about you, Squeaks? Okay, let's do it. Wow, that was awesome. We went back to the hill with our sled and ran around on the snow for a while to pack it down into a smooth track. Then we went up to the top of the hill, pushed off, and zoomed all the way down to the bottom. With the smooth, hard snow, there wasn't as much friction pushing back on the sled after we pushed off. So we kept going faster and faster. Yeah, let's go do it again. Thank you for joining us. If you want to keep learning and having fun with Squeaks and me, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time here at the fort.
All right, did you hear the word that she used in the video that talked about why sometimes her sled was being slowed down? That word, that science word, is friction. So now you are going to do a website that will help you practice how to make your sled go faster or slower depending on the height of the hill and the friction on the hill. So in the seesaw activity, I gave you a link to the Cat in the Hat Slide-a-Mazoo activity. And when you click on that link, it will bring you to the website. Okay, so in the activity, here's the website. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to bring me to the Cat in the Hat Slide-a-Mazoo. Okay, so here is the Cat in the Hat Slide-a-Mazoo website, and you'll see there's a hill, and it will give us some instructions on what it wants us to do.
Whee! Wow, that was fun! Try making the slide taller or shorter by pressing the up or down arrows here.
So now I'm going to use this to make my hill a little taller, and let's see what happens when it's a little taller.
Woohoo! Nice job! That slide was very fast. Try a different height and see what happens.
Let's see what happens if we make it shorter.
Here I go! Nice job! That slide was very slow. All right, it's time we get to the slide races.
Okay, so you are going to do some slide races where you are going to race against thing 1 and thing 2 by making your slide height taller and shorter. And when you finish that level, then you will get into some activities with friction and adding some things to your slides to make your slide faster or slower depending on friction. When you finish this, now you're going to go back into Seesaw and you're going to complete a short assignment today. So when you are in Seesaw, you're going to click the Add Response button on today's activity. You're going to find your name on the list and select your name. And you have 2 quick questions you're going to answer for me today based on what you learned. The first one says, click the hill that will make your sled go the fastest. So you're going to go down here, maybe select the pen tool. And if you think these hills are going to make your sled go the fastest, then you're going to circle these. If you think this hill will make your sled go the fastest, then you're going to circle that. Over here it says circle which type of snow will make your sled go the fastest. If you think rough snow will make your sled go the fastest, then you're going to circle rough. If you think smooth snow will make your sled go the fastest, then you're going to circle smooth like the butter. Okay? When you are done, you're going to press the green check mark and that will submit your work to me today. All right, have fun learning about sledding today, and I hope you get to go outside and go sledding very soon while we still have snow on the ground. Have a great day.